for Dublin Concerts, and I'm here with Ian O'Doherty. Welcome, how are you?
I'm good, Louise, very good.
That's good. How was the trip up to Dublin?
Yeah, it was good. Dicey in parts, raining all the way, as per usual.
It's a little bit dark out today.
Yeah, there's no damage done, kept within the speed limit, so it's okay.
So, your new single, which was out on August 8th, Heartbeats Shifting. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that, the meaning?
Yeah, well, the meaning, I guess, not all the songs I write are autobiographical. I mean, sometimes it's different for everybody.
Yeah, where do you get your inspiration from?
Yeah, well, like it's different. I suppose it's different for everybody, but mostly for me, I end up with, say, obviously maybe a few chords on the guitar and maybe a line or two of lyrics, and then you kind of have to let it. Unravel itself for you, or develop itself for you in ways. And for me, it nearly becomes like a movie scene in my head, like a short movie scene, like 3 minutes long. That's all you can really work with. Yeah. But I just try and get a general vibe, a general groove, and just try and make it work from there. I suppose, like, lyrically, Heartbeats Shifting would be about the end of a relationship that's possibly for the best for both parties. Again, it's not autobiographical. I'm getting married quite soon. So
wouldn't want to
it's not about my fiance or anything.
And would it usually come quite easily? Stories? Do you always get a story?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't be what they call prolific in any way. I wouldn't find it hard, but it fits and starts for me. I could go 2 or 3 weeks and just churning out ideas. Now, I mightn't finish them all, but they would be the foundations of songs, say 2 or 3 songs within the space of 2 or 3 weeks, and you just chisel away at that for a while. But I could go 6 months without writing anything. Yeah. You know?
And where would you pull your influences from, music influences?
Musically, there's a lot of kind of, say, the newer stuff now. I would have had an EP out last year, and it wouldn't have been heavily influenced as the new material would be by, say, guys like Bon Iver, Midlake, and even closer to home. There's a lot closer to home that I take a lot of influence from. Would be, say, people like Gemma Hayes, James Vincent McMurray, Mick Flannery, even Little Green Cars, who I saw the singer of outside earlier on. That's why I was very quiet and just stopped talking for a while to make fool of myself. But yeah, there's a lot of Irish acts that are just really kind of in
great
there
ones,
in places.
actually.
Yeah.
And had you always wanted to get into music?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, as a younger guy, I would have been just big into sports and stuff, but I always sang. I always loved singing. I always got something from singing that I still can't really explain what it is I get from it. It's just kind of a fulfillment of some sort, I suppose. And then I was kind of encouraged to take up instruments in my teens, and I started playing guitar. I started playing guitar quite late, actually. I was about 16 or 17, and it just took on from there. I went in, I studied it in college, and I worked in a music store. And then after college, just kind of bummed around.
So obviously it was there.
It was there. There was always an interest. There was always an interest there.
And then, of course, you started your record label, Fat the Land
Records. Yeah.
Was that so you'd have control over your own music?
Definitely, yeah. Now, we do want to run it as a record label properly in terms of taking on other artists as well. And I mean, with the amount of gigs that I do every year, you see an awful lot of unsigned talent out there, and there's some really, really cool acts going on out there. But at the moment it is just me, so it's handy enough being the only artist signed to the record label. We do help other artists out, but financially we just can't give anything to release anybody else's music. But in terms of controlling my music, yeah, that was a big factor. I mean, creatively, financially, legally, to have all that kind of control.
Then you can go on tour when you want.
Yeah, I mean, you call the shots. I mean, you do the hard work when you want to, you can take the holiday when you want to, and yeah, it's cool.
And then another song you released was Woven.
Yeah.
There's kind of electronica hints through that. Was that purpose, or did that just come about?
No, well, it kind of came about, and then it actually filtered into the rest of the songs that came from that session. We haven't released any of them yet. They'll hopefully be coming either later this year, and if not, then definitely early next year. The electronic thing, it's always something that I was interested in and I listened to, but I never actually dabbled in terms of playing it or creating it. Until, say, that session for Woven. And Woven was actually it was a bit of a, I suppose, an orphan of a song. It was generally, I know that's an awful term, but but it was kind of when I write songs, I can demo them at home, and I can bring them to a standard where we go into the studio proper and we know exactly what we need to do, give or take a couple of parts or whatever. But Woven wasn't there at all. It was a really sparse arrangement. It was quite slow. It wasn't anywhere as intense as it was. And the guy I work with in the studio, it's just the two of us, Brendan Fennessy from Wimper. We co-produced that track together, and we ended up co-writing that track together because Fenno put down that breakneck drum beat, and everything changed from there. Everything changed from there. And even the guy that mixed it, Christian Best, he does a bit of stuff with like McFlannery and stuff, and he totally got the vibe as well. And he could have put a couple of bits in the mix as well that kind of brought out the electronica vibe to it, I suppose.
Is there any genre you'd sit yourself in, or are you happy to dabble?
I can't. I find it hard. Like, I suppose it is alternative, but it's not that alternative, and it is indie, but it's not that indie, and it is rock, but it's not that rock, and it is folk, and it's not
how you're
folk.
feeling on the day.
Yeah, kind of. It's up to whoever interprets it. I mean, I've read some reviews, and you're going, really? Yeah, okay, well, okay. But it's totally up to how the person who listens to it interprets it.
That's what
music
is, in general.
It is. So it's kind of hard to box those songs into one specific genre.
And then I love the video for Woven.
Yeah, it was cool. It came out alright.
Well, I kind of zoned in on the flowers and the little red insect. Was that purposely done?
Yeah, well, we kind of, in fairness now, all credit to the video crew. They're Bold Puppy Productions. They did it, but they used to be based in Kerry, and the way I came across them is they did some videos for another Kerry band called Walking Out Cars. And when I saw those videos, we were like, we need a video, we need a good one, so let's try and get these guys involved. And we shot around a few different ideas, and they're just really brilliant. They're really cool. They're really kind of laid back in what they do. There's no they don't force ideas on you. And
so is that an idea you came upon
together?
Yeah,
it was a bit of the flower was a bit of a fluke. I was driving home from a gig one night. It was late one night. I don't remember where I was playing the gig, but I can remember driving back. I think it was just outside Killarney or something. And this just idea came to me that we could. Most of the ideas were done, and it was all them. It was all the crew. And I said, we could centre something around the idea of this flower. This flower represents the only good that's left in the world in which this man exists.
It's quite a dull
video.
Yeah.
So that he becomes obsessed with this, and this represents life. It represents the only good thing that's left for him. And I had to stop the car and call Ali, she's partner at the label, I just got her to scribble down a few ideas, and I emailed the lads the next day, and they liked it, and they went off. They shot it in Wicklow Mountains, and it came back. I'd say for me to make 4 or 5 tiny little edits to it, that was all. They were just spot on. They were really good.
Great.
They came out good.
I really enjoyed it. So if anyone wants to get in contact or find out more about you, where do they go?
Everything can be found through the website. That's ianodoherty.com. Like your Facebook links, Twitter, YouTube, pictures, everything. Anything that you need, there's contact page there and all that kind of stuff, and live dates and everything.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Louise. Thanks a lot.